because Jake is my longest sub, so he gets priority. Because that's just the kind of guy I am. No, he's been subbed to my channel since the day I was affiliate. He's been subbed. And he's always been asking me to stream more, and he's the best dude in the fucking universe. The nicest guy you'll ever meet. And he asked me to roast him. So that's what we're gonna do. Like, the first thing we talk about is scouting around. Now, to be fair, where he's dropping, people cannot be there or cannot be there. So the only thing he needs to be conscious of is whether anybody's dropping in this area with him, and whether anybody's maybe dropping at the dome, because they could rotate into him. This rotation is pretty far, and this rotation is pretty far, so unless you're looting very, very slowly, none of that is really a risk. So this is a location where it's actually kind of easy to be aware of whether people are dropping around you, but you definitely want to look around right now and see if anybody's contesting you, and where they are. And so you don't end up alone against a bunch of enemies. That's always kind of the first thing we talk about, is scouting when you're dropping. If there is indeed an enemy there, I should actually listen to see if there is. If there is indeed an enemy nearby that you hear, then going for a height, right, where you can scout from and can't be attacked as easily is nice. Okay, so he hears people there, so he knows that there's enemies up ahead. He's in the open field for 10 seconds, and he is not able to decide where he goes next. Yeah, so that's due to a lack of information. You don't know what to do next. So first think about where enemies and teammates are, and then based on that you can make decisions, and the more you do that, the better you'll get at it. Right, playing from height here prevents you from getting sandwiched or pushed as easily, which is nice. You know that they're below because they just downed a teammate. You see that your teammate is downed what I believe to be outside of the building, so there's not really a point in holding the staircase unless you hear them open the door and go inside. So instead what I would do is climb on top outside and then hold your arc from there, and then you can hopefully stick him while he's looting your teammate's box. Because if you're standing in here and waiting for him to move in, then he's already armor swapped, etc, so it's not a free sticky anymore. I think he's gonna do it. Right, yeah, there he is. Don't stick the wall next to you. I don't know what you're gonna achieve by waiting here. Like, if you're not gonna take the top to see if you can sticky while they're looting, then you probably want to put away your arc star and grab a weapon. So when you do see when you can apply some pressure from height, which is also of course very powerful because it's a strong position. But waiting here, just standing out in the open for them to potentially attack you from any of these sides is not ideal. And now your teammate's already in a fight without you, so really want to be a little bit faster here. Looking for nade opportunities is nice, but if you over focus on this nade, then you're not really gonna be providing much value. Like, now your teammate is already one shot, right? Because you took so long trying to find an opportunity to stick this arc star. Be right back, gotta go wake up a sleepyhead. Alright, see you soon, Mia. Alright, Jake asked us to roast him. We should roast him. Okay, so now you're alone. Your teammates already left because you didn't help him, so it kind of makes sense. I would leave too. I'm like, fuck this guy. He was too busy playing with an arc star to help me out. Your other teammate still hasn't left somehow. Guess more mental fortitude or whatever. Maybe he's scrolling Reddit, who knows. But now you're potentially in a 1v3 situation. Your teammate luckily did already get the banner of your teammate, so you probably, because your path and you held the roof, you could have just dipped out. Taking a fight here, 1v3, you're probably not going to win. Right, luckily that guy had no armor and is an absolute potato. Also, you know that there's potentially 2 enemies left, right? I don't think your team downed and finished any of them. So now you're looting a box with your back out in the open with potentially 2 people looking at you, which is not ideal. Right, actually taking cover here, that's pretty solid. Could have used the corner there, could have climbed up, either of those. Don't want to be standing out in the open. Okay, you saw somebody drop from there, but then you decide to focus this guy so much that you ignore him and expose yourself to him anyway. Like, one step back behind the wall and... or actually, there. One step back behind the wall right there, and you wouldn't be exposed to 2 people. Right? There's one step between stupid and greatness here, and you're on the side of stupid now. Right, now you're behind the wall, but now there's only one dude. Right, finally using the grapple to relocate. Probably want to pop a cell here. You have very, very low health. Don't push out in the open, dude. You're one shot. No challenges. Right. Luckily, they were stupid enough to res out in the open, so they out-Pepegaed you, and because of that, you end up winning the fight. But standing out in the open there when you have very, very little health, when you could quite easily just have popped the shield cell, is just a risk you should never need to take. Ever. How am I gonna say this? At least you're scouting. for once, which is great. Scouting gives you information, which you can then use to make a plan, which we've not seen so far. That's the positive. But why are you standing out in the open on top of a fucking wall? Like, here's how cover works, right? In case this is your first day in an FPS and you don't know yet, if you stand behind a wall, like right here, this is you. You're happy? Yay! This is you behind the wall. That means that anybody that's on this side of the wall can shoot you, right? Because walls block bullets. That's how that works. This is how cover works. I know a lot of you didn't know that, but this is how cover works. Standing on top of shit makes you vulnerable from every fucking direction. If you're gonna scout, don't do it like this. Like, the reason that scouting on roofs works is because you've got fences and generators and high grounds and things like this to work with that block your line of sight so that you can have your back covered while you're looking around. If you're standing on top of a wall like this, everybody in Capital can see you and shoot you right now, especially if you decide not to strafe, like you're doing right now. You're not playing with a controller, there's no need to not strafe. Never do this. I think pointing out mistakes will make him a better player, and it's not much of a roast. Fair. His cover comments hitting home really hard. Yeah. See? 10 times better already. Okay. During the first half of that mag, this guy was panicking and pissing his pants instead of turning around and shooting back at you. And you actually, for once, had some cover on most of your body, right? So your right side was covered by the rest of this building, and because you're far up on this high ground, your back is covered by most of the building as well. So because of that, if this guy doesn't shoot back at you, because you're not in a stupid open position, you don't have to strafe until he shoots back, right? So right here, you could have done a lot more damage to him if you actually just stood still for a second. Knowing when to strafe and when not to strafe. I mean, when in doubt, strafe, because it's better than standing still. But not strafing at very specific moments to make aiming easier will drastically increase your damage output. Don't focus on thirsting somebody if there's still enemies alive. Right, good. Focus on... Also, you were standing here, where your right side was covered with a building. And your back side was covered because of the length of the building behind you. So why are you going for this height where you're exposed to every side again? Alright, predictability, you know, this guy has gold armor, you only tagged him for 15, he's got a defendable position under here, so the last thing you want to do is run out in the open street and, you know, predictably chase him exactly where he's expecting you, especially if you're a Pathfinder, right? You have the opportunity to relocate to hide for free. Not doing that is just a waste of playing Pathfinder. In that case, you may as well give Path to your teammates that actually know how to grapple. Like, why are you standing in the open here? Oh, actually going for height. Thank God. Using a corner, using cover. Can't climb that, that's okay. Alright, much better. Again, why are you standing exposed to every side of the map? You could literally be standing on any side of this box and have a better position than being on top of it. Now, don't get me wrong, small high grounds are great if you're in a fight, right? If you're fighting somebody right here and you go behind this cover when you reload, then you climb on top of it, right? So that they're not pre-aimed on you left or right side and that you can slide jump off it. That's great. When you're scouting, not so great. You're still crouched, I think. Stop being crouched. Don't drop when you don't have armor. Heal up first. You've got height. You can heal for free. Okay, thank God. Didn't make himself a free kill. I panicked there for a second. Thought he was gonna drop. Alright. There's a zipline right there. And you know there is because you used it like 3 minutes ago. Really don't need to be wasting a resource like this. You would survive running over there and using that zipline. Don't shoot when you're out in the open. Get to that cover first. Come on, come on. Cover first, then shooting. Yes. Yes. Alright, initiating with grenades, which forces them out of their cover. You have a line. This right here. For those of you that don't know what that is, it shows you where the grenade's gonna go. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are like, oh, I know that. Of course that's it. Well, if you know that, why the fuck do you miss your grenades? You know what I mean? Like, there is a line telling you where this thing is gonna land, and you still don't land this grenade where you want it to. Here's a little trick for all of you, especially if you're fighting multiple opponents, especially if you're fighting multiple opponents by yourself. It's very common to throw a grenade on somebody's cover, especially if it's small cover out in the open, which then forces them to move. If you throw it on the right side, they'll move to the left. If you throw it on the left side, they'll move on the right, right? So far, everybody knows this. Then they throw the next grenade where that person is going to try and hit them, which forces them to keep moving. If your aim isn't good, you're not going to get much value out of that, because even though you force them to move, they're just going to know to go to the next piece of cover or go back to where they were. Instead, what you can do is chuck an arc star here first, then chuck a thermite on where they are, so that they cannot move in one direction, or they get hit by the nade that they weren't expecting because it's too far for the grenade indicator. And you can either shoot them for free if they go to one side where it's completely open, or they run into your other grenade. And you actually force value out of these grenades, instead of just forcing them to keep running and running and running and running while you're not shooting anyway. Be a bit smart about how you're using those nades. Alright, you're getting close enough for the R9 now. You almost have no Spitfire bullets, so swap to the R9 right now, right? Keep those 13 bullets into your Spitfire so that if you get a mag of R9 in somebody, they're one shot and you want to finish them, then you can at least get value out of it. Plus, you know, you're against 3 people, you're completely exposing yourself to all of them. Luckily, they're too slow to turn around and shoot back at you, but you really want to go for the R9 with the increased movement speed here. They're being third party, so you have the opportunity to sandwich them here. Oh my... I don't even have to say anything, chat. You know exactly what the problem is. I'm not even gonna say it. Aggressive shielding. Fucking big balls heals, dude. Like... the enemies get pushed from here. You have cover here. You're Pathfinder. You can flank for free. And your decision is to heal here. Alright, actually using cover, hip firing at close range for increased speed, hitting your shots, this is what we like to see. Could have gotten the shield cell off for free there, but that's okay. Chasing with your grapple here is not a good idea, because now you're taking a big risk, because you know there's 2 more enemies, right? So if you grapple into them, now you don't have a way out. So you definitely don't want to do that, especially if you don't have armor. But we're actually seeing some good shit here. Hitting your shots, most of them. Hip firing. Don't give up your height here. Oh, you got a knock. You're gonna get fucked though, because you grappled into multiple people by yourself, and there it goes. Alright, that's a big GG. You fucked yourself. Thanks. Listen, if your teammate clutches up, I don't even fucking know. He's crouched again. Oh my god. Your teammate actually survived. Let's have a look. So there's one team left. You know they have a crypto, so it's pretty much a free win already, right? Unless, of course, you think they're to the right of the choke and then you... Okay. Yeah. What I was gonna say is the one thing you don't need to do is exactly what happened. So let's go and look at that. You move up here, okay? You just finished the fight back there. You know that your back is most likely safe. Although you didn't really look around, because why would you want to be aware of your surroundings? That seems like way too smart of an idea. But you run through here without checking your surroundings. Your back is most likely safe. So what's the first place that the enemies are most likely going to be? Well, past the choke, right? Because there's a choke right there, and you know this map is full of chokes. You have to know about them, because this is how this game works. You always get funneled through chokes. And as you push up, you see a drone coming from, you guessed it, the choke. So where's the enemies going to be? There, right? It's just basic 1+1, like, common sense. You know what I mean? So what's the one thing you shouldn't do? Walk into the choke where you're exposed and then go looking towards the left at the drone so that they can shoot you for free in the asshole. That's the one thing you shouldn't do. Now let's see what happens. You see what I mean? You see what I mean, chat? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? We're even gonna ignore the fact that you let that EMP hit you for free and that you could grapple out right now because you're a very grapple happy boy. You should use that grapple. Hell yeah. Okay, well, again, practice your grapples because you could have slingshotted yourself around the corner and then slide healed quite easily. That is something that you really should be practicing. This gameplay got into Diamond, that gives me hope. I mean, these are pubs that he's playing alone with randoms. He does play considerably better in ranked. But he asked for a roast, so he gets it. And also, yes, Diamond is not particularly difficult. See, when his back is against the wall, he actually uses cover and keeps track of where the enemies are. So he clearly has the ability to do so. He just hasn't been thinking for the vast majority of this game. Oh my god, there was a rat in the corner. Yo, you have a fast heal, so you could just easily pop a bat or some cells right there for free, right? Fast heal, OP as fuck. Abuse the hell out of it. Just pop heals constantly, there's fuck all they can do. Like literally, right now, just as an example, with half your armor left, you could stand here, pop a battery, and this potato wouldn't kill you before it finishes, because that's how good gold armor is. Like you really wanna... Like, you really need to understand that if you have gold armor, abusing heals gives you the freest wins in the fucking universe. Don't grapple in if you need a way out, because there's more than one enemy, because again, unnecessarily, when you've already taken damage, you're exposed to somebody when you didn't have to. This was already a free kill anyway, he doesn't have fast heal, so even if he starts to heal, you can literally out-heal him with a cell and then still kill him. My man, you can see a gold shield. Here, this is the one with self-res. Right there. Right there. Right there. Still there. Not here. Right there. Not here. Not here. Don't shoot this guy. Wasting damage. Right there. There. No. Alright, your teammate actually did a useful thing for the second time this game. He finished the dude with gold armor, or shield, knockdown shield, the self-res. Fog. He was actually useful twice. So even though you rest him in the most suicidal manner possible, actually got value out of him. Isn't that nice? And won the game. Hell yes. Alright. Jake isn't here right now, but he's gonna see this when I send it to him. So, before we see the stats, or even while we look at the stats, Jake, I fucking love you, my man. Thank you for sending it on. I hope you had a good laugh. You are the best dude in the universe. And that's a nice carry as well. Fucking twice, 3 times his teammates' damage. Good shit. Alright, a lot he can improve on, but I'm sure he will. Those grapples are very easy to practice. Going to the firing range, practice slingshotting, practice air strafing, practice using crouches to land where you want to land. Whoa, infinity! I know, right? This is great. Yeah, so practice those grapples. Practice making sure that you land where you can land. And for the love of God, stop wasting grapples to land out in the open. Like, it's fine to use them to get around the map faster, but be a little bit smarter about the fact that if you land into a team, you don't want to have your grapple off cooldown. And if you like laser one enemy and there's 2 enemies still left behind him, you definitely don't want to grapple yourself into them, because it's just suicide.